What's up, everybody? It's Erin.
And Nicole. This is Dude That's Fucked Up.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
We're doing it. Here it is.
Here it is. It is happening. We're here. We have cocktails.
Oh, yeah, we do.
It's Erin's birthday. It's entering the end of the evening, but we're ramping up.
It's lit, as the kids say. I don't know if it is or not. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a really fun show, you guys.
Oh, my God.
This is a birthday-inspired.
Yes.
My birthday-inspired episode. Also, heads up, we're recording this before the election, so...
Oh, my God.
If our tone is off, sorry. I hope things are okay. And, you know, the world hasn't melted down or whatever, or we're like, everybody's okay.
100%. I feel like, we've been not caught off guard a lot this year, but, you know, there's like a lot of stuff that's happened that's been pretty heavy. And we've recorded a lot beforehand, but we know something's going to happen next week. Mm-hmm. This is going to come out. Something will have happened. We cannot predict the future, but we can acknowledge it and just say we don't know what has happened but when we're recording this. So we're just going to have fucking fun and drink cocktails and be best friends on Erin's birthday and just like be funny and have fun.
We're living in this moment now, and whatever the moment is speaking to later on when this comes out, I hope it is all congruent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hope it's easier. Hope it's just like calmer. Hope it's celebratory maybe. But
also, if it needs to be an escape just from everything anyway, then I hope that this strikes you that way.
We got you. Mm-hmm. We got you on that.
Yeah. So either way, let's do it.
Let's do it. I love it. This topic is so wild.
Wild.
Is there anything that you wanted to say that's fucked up this week, or do you just want to get into it and have some fun?
You know, I just want to say thank you for all the birthday wishes I have received from friends and family and listeners. You guys, that's so very sweet. Everybody,
our internet friends.
All my internet friends, I love y'all very much, and I'm 37 years old, and
bleep that out.
Yeah, no, I don't care anymore. You know, it's like it is what it is.
What is age? You don't look 37, so like, does anyone really know that you are 37? No, are you? No, you're not even actually 37, as far as I'm concerned. So
I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, who cares?
Who cares? Who cares?
This, you know, everything is not exactly high and tight anymore, but it's like, it's fine.
But it's where it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
It's very comfortable. You know, I'm like
what? Don't know.
A well-worn leather couch. Like, I'm sophisticated and I have a nice smell.
Okay, I have to say, the only leather couches I've ever seen have been disgusting.
No, I'm talking about like a classy leather couch,
where are those? I've never seen one.
Like in a
leather shop.
Somebody's like Upper West Side loft, and it has a full library, and there's a decanter of whiskey next to it or something. I don't know.
Okay, well it's very like J. Crew catalog or something, almost like very like bougie New Yorker. Okay, that's cute. I'm thinking of like a black faux leather IKEA sofa.
I'm not faux leather, bitch.
Okay, you're right. But also like, well, I never know if it's leather or real leather, but then I guess the fact that there's like duct tape on it should
you worked at a Coach. You should know better. Come on.
I know. But truly, I've never seen a nice leather couch, I don't think, in my life. But that's not something people have. Yeah, you have. Yeah. I need to find one.
I've seen them. I don't own one, but I've seen them. I know they exist.
They exist.
That's the leather couch I'm talking about.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's good then.
Cool.
All right.
All right. It has a nice patina on it. It's worn. Mm-hmm. It's comfortable, but like still sexy.
Yeah. Like it's got a shine to it.
Yeah.
And an earthiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh God, who knows? Yes, that is. I'm feeling not 22. I am feeling the day after your 22nd birthday when you're hungover as fuck. Mm-hmm. But like you're still fine and you're like ready to rage still. But like you're like achy and like ugh, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like in the morning, like all the time. So that's what being 37 is. Just.
Well, also just
ready to rage, but also achy.
Yeah. This year, too, is very hard because I feel like I just woke up this morning and my neck was all fucked up and I must have slept weird. But I think it's like, the depression of current times is just like very heavy and it's making your body ache in ways that it never has until now. You know, it's like not even an age thing. It's just like, we're all carrying around all this shit.
100%. I have not been sleeping. I've been sleeping okay, but like it's starting to get to the point when I wake up in the morning, like you're saying, and you have like a stiff neck. That's how you carry your stress throughout the day, and like you just pass out, and then you're like, everything is terrible. So
and everything is.
Well, anyway, but right now in this very moment, everything is fucking awesome because Nicole came over to my house tonight before dinner time and dropped off a cocktail from one of our local Long Beach tiki bars. Look at this fucking shit.
God. So cute.
This is my tiki glass. People who are just listening, I'm holding up a tiki glass and it has a authentic painkiller cocktail in it and I am loving it. I feel like, bitch, I feel like I'm on vacation. I am at the swim up bar in Costa Rica. I am ready to get loose. Like it's happening.
I love it. Last week I used my zombie mug, which is usually my tiki mug of choice, but because you already used that last week, I wanted to showcase this other one. This is my Porg from the Disneyland cantina in the Star Wars area that I went to at Christmas last year. It's very cute. And Pete's drinking out of the Queen Mary stack tiki mug, which is very fun.
Speaking of parties, this is going to be a real I don't know if it's going to be a party, but we are going to talk about some real shit. It's real Scorpio shit here.
Yes, the poison.
Yeah,
and also it's still spooky season technically today right now.
Yeah.
And maybe for the next 4 years, we don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. It's as spooky as you want it to be in your heart, you know? It's always spooky in this heart. Spooky in the heart. Okay. I'm sorry. Well. Woo!
So good.
What a jam. Okay.
Is that the real words? No. But it's like the chills that you feel on your back and satisfaction. Okay.
You guys, the drinks that Nicole got from the tiki bar are very strong.
Okay, did you share with DJ?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay, I was going to text you right before and be like, hey, don't forget to share it.
Yeah, it's for two. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We got it. We got it. We're good.
Great.
I remember from the last time we went to this tiki bar, like in real life, IRL, how fucked up we got. So, yeah, I was on guard.
Okay, good. You knew, you learned. And that's how we know you're getting older and wiser. And that's right. The benefit of getting older every year. You know what I mean?
Yep, that's true. That is true. Okay, so we went to the dark side and we found our way to a female Scorpio serial killer. And here we are. Here we go.
Oh my God.
So today's topic is the Scorpio lady killer. She is a lady, not a lady killer. Yeah. Nannie Doss.
She did kill a couple ladies.
Yeah, she did. I mean, she's an equal opportunity killer. She is a killer.
She killed who is a lady. Yeah, and also she's a killer. Yeah.
So, Nannie Doss was an American serial killer who was responsible for the deaths of 11 people between at some point in the 1920s. We're not sure when, but it was all through the 20s into 1954.
Oh my God.
A very rare lady serial killer.
Yeah, she was wacky. She was...
I think wacky is...
like too cute?
Too cute, too understated. She was a very, very awful and evil person.
Okay, yeah, that's better.
She really gives us Scorpios a bad name, okay?
Oh, yes. Oh my God.
And I'm a little upset about it. So she did, however, earn some nicknames through her time as a serial killer. Mm-hmm. Giggling Granny was one.
Cute.
I hate it. The Lonely Hearts Killer, kind of fun. The Black Widow. Fuck yeah.
She was the OG Black Widow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Watch out, Scarlett Johansson. And then Lady Bluebeard, which that fucking rules.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't. It kind of sucks because it's like Bluebeard was like murdering a lot of women, but you know.
Oh, okay. I was like, where the fuck does this nickname come from? And I thought maybe she had like, you know how old ladies use the white hair shampoo and it's like blue? But I was like, is she using it on her like chin whiskers? Which I have plenty of. Like, I'm fucking pulling those things out all the time and it's so annoying.
Bluebeard Mackie.
Not yet, because they're still black whiskers.
Oh, yeah.
They're not white yet.
Yeah.
But when they're white and my hair's white and I'm using that shampoo on my head, I'm going to use it on my chin.
And your pubes.
And my pubes. I don't want them to be yellow. Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I want my pubes to be fucking pristine, so white, like marble. Like the gray and the
Alabaster.
white. Well, I was thinking more like the gray and the white come together in like a swirl, and then it's like a marble effect, just like on my head will be.
Very classy, very classy. I love that.
Do people use the blue-violet shampoo on their pubes? They must.
I'm sure somebody has in this world.
Okay, this is a weird question, but do you have pubes when you're that old? Because
yes, I want to say yes.
But like some people,
well, some people like have. Like, some people just, like, don't have hair, like, on their legs or something after a certain point in time. It's like their bodies stop growing it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because my grandma, I remember, like, I remember my grandma used to wear, like, these cute little pedal pushers that she would make, and I remember seeing her leg one time. She always wore pantyhose, but she wasn't wearing them, and I saw her legs, and I was like, oh, Gram, your legs are so smooth. I was like, oh, you must have shaved or whatever. And she was like, no, I don't have to shave my legs anymore. There's just no hair. And I was like, oh, wow.
It must have something to do with menopause. But, like, no matter how old I get, I feel like I will always have hair.
I will always have at least a pube, you know? It's going to be
like a minion head.
Like Cynthia from Rugrats. Oh my God.
Fuck. Okay.
It's gonna be like Kevin from The Office, where it's just like 3 pubes and I have to like, I'm gonna like want to comb them so they're not all like uneven because I'll be upset by that. So like, I'm gonna have to like comb over my pubes.
I mean, you just have to like Bruce Willis it at that point and shave the whole thing, you know?
No,
like,
with my shaky old lady hand? No. By then, my fucking meat flaps will be hanging to my knees. I'm not going to want to cut off my like clitoris and shit. Oh my God, Jesus, no.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anywho.
Well, I think she was called Lady Bluebeard, not because of her blue pubes, but because of Bluebeard the pirate, who was extremely murderous.
I didn't know that.
So that was that. Those are her nicknames that she earned, which it's just like, why do we need to give these fucking assholes nicknames? Like, come on.
Because it sells newspapers and it
is true.
It sells ads, you know what I mean?
You're right.
It's catchy. It's marketing. Yes.
Oh my God. So she was also, this is my favorite thing though, that a newspaper or like any media ever printed about her, was that she was a quote, self-made widow, which I don't know why that really just gets my funny bone, but
it's good. Cause it's fun. It's so apropos.
So dark.
Yeah. It's like,
so dark. It's so
this
apropos.
Is perfect for her.
Mm-hmm.
Self-made widow.
It's like a self-published author. So, but after her fifth husband died in a small hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma, it was then revealed that she had done some fucked up shit and killed her previous 4 husbands, 2 of her children, her sister, her mother, 2 grandsons, and a mother-in-law. Oh, man, this woman.
Oh, my God. I didn't even know about some of these, to be honest.
This is so gnarly. And unlike a lot of serial killers, she went for the people in her life that were closest to her.
Oh, my God.
Which is very gnarly. Because, like, you would have thought that she would have gotten caught, like, this is why people don't, like, murder everybody in their family.
Yeah.
Like, she just kept making new families.
Yeah.
And then murdering members of them.
Yeah, because, I feel like by the 3rd husband, normally someone involved would be like, it's weird that you've had 3 husbands die in a very similar fashion. Like, and also you've had kids die, and also you've had grandkids. It's like, what?
Yeah, and it's not even a because, like, some people like that it's like Munchausen-y.
Yeah.
You know? It's where it's like they thrive on the, like, the attention they get from people being sympathetic to them being, you know, just having horrible luck or being surrounded by trauma and death and whatever. But I don't know. I think that might be part of it. But this woman, it is wild. She is a stone cold evil bitch for the things she did.
She definitely has Munchausen by proxy or whatever. Like, and also is a serial killer.
Yeah. So, she had 5 husbands, and I don't know who in their right mind would have married this woman after all these deaths. But it's like, this was back in the 20s, 30s, 40s. Where you kind of could cover your tracks pretty easily. And everybody was just kind of like ready to fuck, I guess. And if you were going to do it, then you're going to do it.
Oh, I don't know, man. It is. Also, maybe she was like really aware of like what league she was in, and was like, maybe she was finding men in the league under her, and like they were like, I'm a winner if this woman likes me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because she by all appearances, she had a very happy-go-lucky demeanor, which is why she was called the Giggling Granny. She was always like happy, laughing, like she liked having a good time. And because of this, like her outgoing personality, I have a theory that in this day and age, if she was living now in this time, she would have been out there on these apps. Tinder, Bumble, Match, Christian Mingle, Farmers Only. And she would have made a killing. Literally.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
I'm still caught on Farmers Only.
You don't have to be lonely.
Farmers Only. Is that how it goes? No.
Sorry. No, my Alexa just started playing music.
She was trying to get in on this.
Bitch, I'm not talking to you. Okay, so.
Oh my God.
That is the whole story kind of in a nutshell, but not really. There is so much to it. So.
Yeah.
Nannie was born Nancy Hazel.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of a cool fucking name, honestly.
Yeah. Fucking Sister Hazel, remember them?
Yeah.
100%. Rock band.
Real cool.
No.
She was born November 4th, 1905, in Alabama. And she was one of 4 or 5 kids. I don't know what the ambiguity on that one is, but She had, I guess, by all accounts...
Maybe she killed one.
Maybe in the womb or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
By all accounts, though, her mom was a nice lady, but her father was a real piece of shit.
Oh, my God. Like, super abusive, just, like, angry. Would, like, not let any of his daughters, or I think his wife, wear, like, makeup or nice, like, dresses or anything. Like, made them stay home from school to do chores. A real shitbag.
Yeah, he, like, didn't let the kids go to school because he wanted them to work at home. Yeah, and I guess the number one reason for him not allowing his daughters or his wife to wear makeup or nice clothes was because he allegedly didn't want to expose them to, quote, men who could molest them. So
that means maybe he's a molester.
Yeah, I think this is a case of projection. But, who's to say?
Yeah.
But this little nugget is just kind of the first of a dump truck full of red flags that will rain down upon us throughout this episode.
Oh my God. It is. Yeah, there's so many red flags. I think there was also rumors, like, depending on the source, that maybe she was physically abused by, like, townspeople.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, which I don't know if it was because of her dad or what. I don't really know. It doesn't say, like, definitively, but I think it's safe to say she had a rough childhood.
Yeah. She also reportedly suffered a head injury when she was about 7 years old. She hit her head on a metal bar on the seat in front of her when a train stopped suddenly that she was on. Stopped suddenly. And then so for years afterwards, she suffered from headaches, blackouts, and depression. Oof. And we all know there's evidence that head injuries at a young age especially have been linked to extreme violence, violent behavior, and also when exposed to, as a kid or as, a young person, exposure to other psychosocial trauma such as abuse, whether it's emotional, physical, or even sexual, it does not bode well for that person.
Yeah, not a good recipe.
Not a good recipe. She did not have a good start in life.
Yeah, I want to say it's like no wonder she grew up to be like kill a lot of people in her family. It's no excuse, but it's also like, like I get it. I can connect the dots. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not fair, but it's also like this is the recipe, guys. Let's not keep repeating this, okay? Let's not let this happen to anybody else. So
let's like get her to see and talk to someone. You know what?
Right.
We know there's there's some bad ingredients in this pot.
Yep. And
it's arsenic.
Yes. That's the one. So, yeah, in 1921, she left home about 16 years old because she married her first husband, Charles Braggs, whom she met at work. They both worked at the linen thread company. And her father, allowed this to happen because I guess, you have to sign off on that kind of shit when you're only 16 years old. So
yeah,
but that was a way for her to get away from her shit ass family situation.
Yeah. Also, back then, is that really that weird? People got married at 16, 18, 20. Right?
I guess.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I think it was even still pretty young for
still
even
young.
then.
Yeah,
which is why she needed her father's approval.
Yeah.
And then she moved in with this man, Charles Braggs, and his mother, who his mother really fucking sucked and was, I think, verbally abusive, emotionally abusive to her.
Oh man.
To Nannie.
Which also it's yeah, of course they had to move in with his mother because they're teenagers who work in a linen factory or whatever. Yeah. It's okay. And then that's not a great situation for newlyweds. And then on top of it, the mother-in-law is just like her dad and super overbearing and super conservative and icky. It's oh man.
Yeah.
Not a good start.
Yeah, so she traded one shitty situation for another, and arguably it became worse because she popped out 4 fucking kids in the span of,
oh my God,
like, not that many years.
No, like 6 years she popped out 4 kids.
That's insane. Like,
that's so many kids to go from. Okay, and also, like, she was 16 and over the course of 6 years, so what, she's 22 by the time she's had her 4th kid. She's only 22.
Dude.
I was so dumb at 22 and, like, doing dumb, weird shit.
I know. Well, I mean, this was a really, this was a rough situation. And also 1927, the world is about to, like, come crashing down with the Great Depression. Yeah. So things are not going to get better for her.
No, they don't.
So it's bad. And so she's dealing with 4 kids, and I don't know that she's necessarily living in a great financial situation either. So, and she has this abusive mother-in-law. She has this husband who fucking sucks because he allows this woman to
abuse his wife.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like he's helping with the kids at all. So,
no.
Bad sitch. And apparently she realized it was not a good situation for her.
She's like, I don't like this. What can I do to get out?
She did a real Casey Anthony thing. I'm sorry. That was in terrible taste.
No, it was funny. Yeah, it was fucking... Well, she killed 2 of her kids. She
killed 2 of her kids.
Well, now there's 2 less to worry about. It's so bad. It is. She just, like, killed them with their breakfast one day, and they just, like, died right after eating breakfast. And
and this was, like, chalked up to food poisoning, which I guess in those days you could just die from. So thank God we live in 2020 and, you know, can just be poisoned very obviously now, not sneakily by our mothers.
Also, it's like, well, people can, so I guess, but the worst part about this is, like, the husband was, like, a little put off by this. Like, oh, no, our children died, and, like, it's kind of weird. And then he was tipped off by an anonymous source to not eat food she made. Like, hey, your wife may have poisoned your 2 kids that are now deceased. Maybe don't eat anything she makes. And then he was like, huh. Yeah, that's weird. You know what? I think I'm going to take our oldest daughter and I'm just going to skedaddle.
Yeah, he's like, you know, I think I'm going to, like, ignore sort of the fact that she killed 2 of her kids, but, like, I'm going to be scared for me. And I'm going to, like, oh, you want to come with me, oldest daughter? Like, you're, like, sentient, so, like, let's go.
Right. Yeah, like, you are potty trained. I'll take that one. The newborn, you stay here with killer mom. And I'll see you guys later. And he just fucking took off.
Yeah, he fully, like, had another side piece who he went to live with, took his oldest daughter and lived with this other woman and, like, left Nannie with his mother-in-law or his mother and his newborn baby.
Oh, my God. Also, their kids' names, I don't know about the 2 that died, which I'm sorry. I don't know that. But
yeah, that was not in a lot of articles.
Yeah, it's unknown. But their daughter Melvina, which I'm guessing, like, someone in someone's family was called Melvin, and then they made it into Melvina for, like, a girl.
Why does it sound like a cheese to me? I'm sorry, Melvina.
Because it sounds like Velveeta.
Melvina shells and cheese. I'm sorry.
Okay, I think, well, that name I thought was better than their newborn, who was called Florine, which is definitely something they put on your teeth at the dentist.
I kind of like it because it reminds me of, like, I don't know, like a dish, a fancy, like, spinach dish, like Florentine.
Eggs Florine.
Eggs Florine, yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. It reminds me of, did you rinse with fluorine after you, it's like, oh, this toothpaste, now a fluorine. It's like, what? No. I like, eggs fluorine. That's good. Oh my God. Well, so he left Florine behind. And also, like, I don't know. This woman was awful, but, like, so many of the men in her life they weren't as bad. They weren't killing people. Like, let's be, like, fair.
Yeah.
But this guy was also just a huge piece of shit. Like, who leaves the fucking newborn baby with the woman who you suspect just killed your other 2 kids, you dumb piece of shit?
Yeah, I mean, I guess because it's like in those days, it's like it was not, I guess, I don't know. You couldn't really argue to like take a newborn baby away from a mother. I don't know. There was like weird.
And maybe he didn't want it. I mean, he wasn't. I mean, he eventually abandoned both of his kids with her anyway. So, like, let's just, like, put that out there. But
yeah, he eventually, like, brought his daughter back and he, like, remarried and everything kind of got garbled. Yeah. But after he left her, she moved back in with her parents and it was all kind of, nobody thought anything was amiss.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, nobody.
Except for the husband, but he couldn't really prove anything, I guess, so.
I guess, and also, well, if they would have done autopsies on the kids, I think they would have known. But, like, maybe that was like a rare thing back then, but it just feels weird. But also not that weird and not that, unexpected in terms of how men act, especially in that time period of like a guy being like, okay, these are your kids. I have a new family now. I'll see you. Like that was pretty a normal thing.
For sure. So yeah,
she moved back in with her parents. She got full custody of Melvina and Florine, and that was it. She like got a job, and she just was like living her life.
Yeah. Then she finds a new husband. His name was Robert Franklin Harrelson.
Robert Franklin Harrelson. It sounds like Alexander Hamilton.
Robert Franklin Harrelson.
It's the same number of syllables, I think.
Yeah, totally. So she meets this guy and marries him in 1929, and they meet through a Lonely Hearts newspaper column.
Yeah.
And that was like back in the day, that was like how you met strangers and started dating them. It was the Tinder of its time.
It was the Tinder of its time. It is. That's what you had. Especially if you had killed your 2 kids already. It's like you need to like not date anyone from your like very local area. You got to go a couple towns over.
Yeah, it's like women seeking men, men seeking women. Like, it's that kind of thing.
Misconnections.
And this is like this is something from her childhood that kind of carried over into her adult life. She, as a kid, would always read these romance novels and would read the Lonely Hearts newspaper columns when she was younger. And so she had this kind of idealized idea of what love and marriage and having a husband or whatever should be.
Yeah.
But the reality of that is that in order to have a relationship, it's not like you just have this perfect thing, but that's what she kind of was always expecting, and her expectations were always impossible to live up to because
she picked garbage men also.
She picked garbage men, and a Lonely Hearts newspaper column was not the place for it. So,
not the place. Yeah, not the place.
So she meets this man, falls in love. Well, I don't necessarily think falling in love was the part of the equation, but she meets this man and they get married in 1929. They live in Jacksonville with her 2 daughters, Melvina and Florine. Mm-hmm. And then after a few months into the marriage, she realizes this guy is also a piece of shit. He's an alcoholic and has a criminal record for assault. Wow. Girl, you got to fucking figure this shit out before you do the marriage part. You need a courtship to like learn these things. But despite all this, despite her figuring this out months later after she'd married him, they stayed married for 16 years.
What a different time. Yeah. Also, it's like courtships. Like you've heard the stories about like, oh, my parents dated 2 times and then they got married or whatever. Yeah. It's like my grandparents dated. That's not really our parents, but
my great grandparents went on 2 dates.
Yeah, exactly.
They got in a car accident and almost died, and then they got married, like, immediately.
So many people have those stories, like grandparents, great-grandparents, where it's like they had 3 dates, they said, this is good enough, which is almost like an arranged marriage at that point, because it's like...
You don't know this person.
You don't know this person. You know where they come from, what their financial situation is. It's all very, like, shallow type stuff. And it's just very weird. Like, there's no way she would know this man. And she just kept getting into the same situations. Probably, because these guys, I would imagine, seemed like fun at first, especially if they're like big drinkers or whatever. And like,
and she liked to have a good time. She liked
to have a good time. She's
everybody's
funny and
cool. Like, let's hang. And then it was like, okay, now you have to do the like real part of the relationship. And this is, you're now one-on-one with this other human being, and it's not, they are flawed, extremely flawed, not just like regular flawed, but like they got some shit going on.
They got some baggage. And you know what another red flag is for me is like, this is fucked up, but it's like a guy, the connotation of marrying a woman who was divorced already with children in this time period is weird. Like, that was a weird thing to do. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, it was, it's like you had, everything was very obviously divided. There was such a much more defined hierarchy of social class and standing within society back in these days. So it's like you had to go down several levels if this was your lot in life. Yeah. And for her, it wasn't with her current situation when she found the second husband. She was a divorced woman with 2 children, and she had to go down several levels in the social hierarchy. Yeah. So and he was willing to do that. So
yeah.
During the time that she's married to this man, within the 16 years she's married to this man, her oldest daughter Melvina gets married and starts her own family. Yeah. And so the first son Robert is born in 1943. Mm-hmm. And then Melvina had a daughter 2 years later. Yeah. Now, this is very upsetting. Yeah. If you want to skip forward a couple minutes, it's pretty rough. So I'm just going to say what happened next.
Yeah. She killed her daughter. She killed her granddaughter. She killed Melvina's daughter.
Melvina gave birth to the baby. And at the hospital, there was a pretty high chance that babies would just die.
It's a lower, like back then it was just a lower infant mortality rate. Yeah. It's like babies that were born in hospitals didn't always survive. Lots of babies were born stillborn. Like there was lots of complications all the time. Mothers died a lot. Like just the whole thing was not at the level, it is now. We didn't have the science. But like this baby was born healthy by all accounts.
Yeah. And in the hospital, apparently Nannie got a hold of the baby, and this is so fucked.
Dude.
I don't even know how to like even say this, but she basically stabbed this baby in the brain with a hairpin.
I said she gave her a hairpin lobotomy, which I think is rude. But also
that is like pretty much what happened.
It is.
There is no coming back from this. Like any redemption this woman might have had, she already blew past that.
2 of her kids.
She'd already killed 2 of her own children. And this was, I don't know how you do this. This is so fucked.
It's also, I think what's interesting about this too, first of all, it feels a lot more violent somehow. maybe because it's a newborn, but also you're in a hospital because she was in the hospital when she killed the baby.
Yeah.
So, the fact that someone could come in, and I've been watching a lot of Dexter, so, maybe this is the thrill of it or whatever, but it's, the fact that someone could come in at any moment is wild to me that she still went through with it, but she did.
Yeah, and nobody really knew what happened. They couldn't figure out what had happened to the baby. Mm-hmm. The doctors didn't, I guess, do a thorough examination or something. They just were like, "Oh, babies die all the time," kind of thing. And
yeah, I mean, this is very maybe gross, but it's how soft is an infant's skull that you could do that and then pull it out. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the logistics if she stabbed it in the side of the head or through the ear or whatever. Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, it's wild that also I was thinking though when we were doing the notes, based on the class of these people, you were saying how there was such a clear hierarchy. If they weren't a high enough class to be given the attention of the medical staff, they probably were just oh yeah, babies die all the time. Anyway, you're taking up a bed. Can you leave?
Yeah, and you know what I mean? And maybe the doctors did suspect something, but they were just you know what, we're too busy. We're too, whatever.
Yeah,
they
who
just
knows?
Did not care.
Well, no, this is the thing that makes me think maybe they were a little bit of a lower class and no one was really paying attention is how many people she killed before she got caught that were close to her, because it's
100%.
Anybody who even knows this family as a family friend would be suspicious.
Yep. Yeah.
How many people in your family have died? It's we're way beyond a coincidence. And so it does make me think, one, she moved around a lot, which she did, and two, they were of a social class where people just didn't bother. Yeah. And it is what it is. It's super
a lot of people
up.
had their own fucking problems then, and it was just kind of, it was another fucking Wild West during this.
It was.
I don't know. It was, I don't know, really fucked up. So that happened. And then a short time later, Melvina's son,
Robert,
her nanny's grandson, Robert, died of asphyxiation while he was in Nanny's care. So she killed both of her grandchildren.
Yeah. Which also the other fucked up thing about this is that there were reports that Melvina maybe saw her kill the newborn daughter.
Oh.
But that she was on drugs after having children. They would put women on morphine and stuff after they had children in those days.
And she was fucked up.
She was fucked up
in general, and couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, but she maybe saw her mom with the hairpin kill her own baby. So, but it's kind of an unreliable witness type thing. But it's super fucked up. And she definitely, was with Robert when he died of asphyxiation. But again, no one, no authorities got involved. Nothing was no one was hey, maybe we should all be aware of this. It was just oh, I'm sorry that both of your daughter's children are dead now, and we don't know what happened.
Yeah. Oh, and it's so crazy that they were both you were literally holding both of them when it happened. That's so awful for you.
So awful. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's so fucked.
Yeah.
So then.
Oh my God.
In the same year, so this is all just within a year, 1943.
Yeah.
Still.
Oh no, this is 1945.
This is 1945. Yeah. So the granddaughter she killed in 1943.
Yeah.
And then a couple years later is when she killed Robert.
Something. Yeah.
So then the same year though that her grandson Robert died.
Yeah.
Her husband, the war had just ended.
World War II.
World War II just ended. Everybody's fucking psyched. We are on the upswing. The world is celebrating. It's a fucking party out here.
Yeah.
And of course, as you remember, this guy, her second husband was a drunk. Was a drunk.
Yeah.
And he took the opportunity to just really, of World War II being over, to really party it up.
Dude.
So,
which could you imagine, this was within literal days of Japan surrendering to the U.S.
Yeah.
And a bunch of his friends come back from overseas, and people are getting turned. It is. People are just like fucking out all night, all the time, just raging. And this man already had a proclivity for drinking.
Yeah, so he went out one night and he got fucked up and came home and wanted to like do some sex with Nannie. And she was like, absolutely not. You're too drunk. And then he just fully, again, trigger warning, raped her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he rapes her. She is not having it. So, yeah, she poisoned him.
Wow. She had a line, and that was it.
Yeah, he crossed that fucking line hard.
He crossed that line, which it's like, yeah. It is. It's like, okay, I mean, we already said they were married for 16 years before she killed him.
Yeah.
So, like, that was it. That was her threshold, I suppose. But then it's like, what did the kids do to her? You know what I mean? Like,
I have some thoughts on that later, but yeah. There's no justification for it, but I'm trying to like figure out this woman as we talk about her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next day, she, I guess, poisoned one of his hidden moonshines. I guess he used to bury them in the yard. She's out there doing some yard work, and she finds one of his jars like buried in the dirt. She puts fucking rat poison in it, and like just does a little topper of rat poison on that moonshine, and he drinks it. And he died like a week later. He digs it up out of the yard. Imagine having like a garden of moonshine. That would be kind of cool. What a fun time, except if it's poisoned with rat poison.
Yeah. Does it only grow at night?
Yeah, that's why it's called moonshine.
Yeah. Oh, I like
Shines
it.
in the moon.
Oh my God.
So September 15th, 1945, that motherfucker died from drinking poison moonshine.
He found it.
And Nannie had taken out a life insurance policy, I guess, at the time for her grandson, Robert, which very sus, bitch. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Hella sus. You are.
What are you doing?
Which one among us is a killer? Let's look at who has taken out a life insurance policy.
I mean, so she's collecting $500 on her grandson's life insurance policy that she initiated. Yep. And then her husband just dies, and I'm sure she gets some money from his, like he probably had a life insurance policy. So she's like suddenly free of all of the obligations. Everything is off her shoulders. She's like, bitch, let's go get some more dick.
Yeah. She's like, she's like, is Papyrus still open? Because I got so much cash I want to spend on some new stationery for the Lonely Hearts Club. She's like, oh, can you put my initials on this? Yeah, I just got $500. So.
How much is the embossing going to be?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even care. I don't even need to ask. I can afford it.
You know what? Throw it in.
So she's like, hits up the Lonely Hearts Club again, and she finds another man, Artie Lanning of North Carolina. She's just like, I guess, I want to say she's like perfuming all of her letters. I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm also very curious if the Lonely Hearts Club,
she's like putting some pussy talk in those letters.
Dude, she's like my large wet
flaps.
What did they what would they say back then? They're like my mons pubis or whatever. I don't know. My sweltering mons pubis.
God. Oh, it sounds like a mountain in the jungle.
Is she like my magic bean has been planted for you? I want you to be my giant and ride my beanstalk. No, I don't know.
No, I want to be the giant and ride.
Right. That makes sense.
Come
stick your fingers in my bum.
Yeah. Fee fi fo fum. I will ride your magic beanstalk, hun. I don't know.
Till I come. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. That's how they talked back in the 40s.
That's how they talked. No, she was like, Malige.
Hi, honey. You want to fuck this bean?
Oh, my God. Huh. Hi, do you like Ben's? Well, no, that's like fucking South Park.
It's like the Canadian accent
Philip
from
and
South
Terrence.
Park. Yeah.
Hi, do you guys like Ben's? Hi. Hey, guys. Do you like perfume Ben's? I'll spray my Chanel No. 5 on my bed. And it's like, what? No, ma'am. What are you talking about?
Please.
Ma'am, please.
Back away.
Okay, but I do think she was maybe catfishing dudes. And like you said, she's like spraying perfume. I think she's putting in pictures that are like fully not her. Maybe. Or like young her. You know what I mean? It's like, here's this old ass picture.
She was cute when she was young.
Yeah, she was cute. Yeah, totally. But and also by this point, she still is kind of young. Like she's in her late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, she's like only in her 30s. Like she's still high and tight. She's got things going for her. Yeah. But still has murdered many people.
Yeah, she's a murderer.
Many children specifically. So and her husband. Right. So the next guy, Artie, is like, hey, what's up? Let's get married. And then she marries him, finds out he's also another huge drinker. Yeah. I don't know if he's an asshole or not, but like she has.
I mean, you're unpleasant. Yeah. Like most alcoholics aren't like super sweet and they're being continuously hungover all the time is taxing.
Truly. Yes. So she kills him. People thought though he might have had the flu, which was going around, and flu kills people all the time, but she was actually just poisoning this man. Yeah.
I was wondering if maybe she was like microdose.
Bitch, you drunk.
I'm drunk. This cocktail is so strong. Okay, I was wondering if she was microdose poisoning. I was saying dose because of poison. I was wondering if she was microdose poisoning, like basically just the entire town by this point, because it's like, how convenient that the flu is going around. Was she like, did she have her little mitts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, is everybody eating your chili at the church cook-off or whatever? It's like, great. So like the whole town has a little bit of poison in their system. So now you can easily poison your husband and be like, well, everybody's kind of sick.
She's just crop dusting everybody in town with arsenic. Yeah.
She's arse dusting people.
Oh my God.
What? I don't know.
So this poor man, Artie, dies in 1950, and then she went to go live with her sister after this. Like, she is like truly just free and clear again, and she's like, hey sis, what's up? Yeah. And her sister, I think, was like I think she was like bedridden or had some health issues. So obviously easy target. She has the taste for murder now, so she killed her sister.
Oh my God. It's like truly getting so ridiculous. Like at this point, this is what was weird doing the notes. It feels like cavalier to be like, and then this person died, and then this person died. But it's like, honestly, this woman just killed that many people and was like, okay, next. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay. Next, like, this is it.
Yeah. She killed a lot of people, and she was like, thank you, next, by Homicidal Grande. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. No, that was so funny. Oh my God. I didn't even see it in here. That's great. I'm glad I didn't see it. That was so funny. Oh. Oh my God.
Thank you. Next. Yeah, she just is out here murdering left and right. So then she hits up the apps again, aka the Lonely Hearts Club writing shit, and finds another guy, Richard L. Morton.
They met through the Lonely Hearts.
Yep. I'm saying, like, you see what I'm saying? She was on Tinder. She would literally slay. Yeah. Literally. Yeah. Would slay.
Dude, that's what, this is wild. It's wild that, like, also, when you look at the dates of all these marriages, no time is going past. And again, it goes back to what we were saying about, like, well, you just meet twice and you're like, yeah, I guess we could bone for the rest of our lives.
Well, except for her second husband, who she was married to for like 16 years. But then it's like, it's starting to pick up speed here. She's a rolling stone now, like going down a hill.
Yeah. She's like, fuck you and your moss. No, thank you. I'm going
to kill you.
Yeah.
Stone,
good day.
Moss, whatever. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
So she married this man, Rick L. Morty. Rick and Morty. She married him in 1952 in Kansas. Yep. And so not long after their marriage, he starts stepping out on her. Like, I don't know that he's like a heavy drinker like the other ones, but he's adulterous. And like, also, by the way, in all the other marriages woven in was a level of adultery. Everybody's kind of like willy-nilly with their willies. Yeah. So he's fucking around on her, and she's like, I don't like this. But then, and so that was like not cool, but she's like, whatever, man. And then Nannie's mother moves in with them. Her piece of shit father dies. And then Nannie's mom comes to live with them.
Which you've heard the old adage where it's like, if your marriage is bad, have your mother-in-law move in.
Yeah, it's very
saves the marriage.
Yeah, totally. It makes everything way better.
Yeah.
So their marriage is extremely strained. Nannie's mom is there, and after she gets there, she starts getting sick.
Yeah, she's literally there for like a few days.
Yeah, she's like, man, ever since I got here, my stomach's been hurting. Mm-hmm. And Nannie's like, oh, what? That's so weird. Oh, maybe it was something you ate. Like when my 2 kids got food poisoning. Sounds so much like what happened with them. Are you okay?
Oh, you know what? That sounds exactly like when my everyone died.
Yeah. Oh, it's like you're having the same symptoms of everybody I know in my life that's died. Oh, weird. So she killed her mom. She poisoned her mom because her mom was probably like, I don't know, too much of a burden. And she was like, Mom, I have this situation with my marriage. I just like literally cannot with you right now. Yeah. So I'm going to have to put you down. She did. Yeah.
Yeah, she did. No one's surprised.
She put poison in her mother's food, killed her.
Yeah, don't act surprised.
Yeah, don't be surprised. 3 months later, poor Rick died. Ricky Mortz died after drinking a thermos full of coffee.
Wow.
I think Nannie made it.
I think Nannie made it and Mort drank it.
At this point, it'd be a coincidence if somebody just died of natural causes in her life. Like, that would be wild. But the worst part of waking up is Nannie poisoning your cup. Okay? I'm sorry again for these terrible jokes.
I wanted to say there was a family friend that my family used to make fun of. They had a bowl. They just had like cheesy, like Pampered Chef type stuff, I guess. And this was the 90s. My parents had it too. But they had a bowl that said made it, ate it.
Oh, God, I know exactly who you're talking about.
I know. Maybe I'll bleep their names out, but my family would and still does make fun of that bowl. Like, we laugh for hours. We will, it like became part of, like, we would make shit jokes around it or like weird sex things, which is like, it's like, my family would just like get on a tangent with that bowl and we would just like, I can call ad right now, and he would have like 3 jokes.
A million, yeah. Oh my God.
It would be.
You should call him. You should call him and record that shit.
I should. Oh my God. Yeah, I should. Oh my God.
I need to hear it for myself.
Yeah,
oh, man.
It's so funny. Literal hours of entertainment from that one bowl. Anyway.
That's so good. Oh, God. Okay, so poor Ricky Mortz is dead after poisoned coffee from Nannie. Yeah. Then we're finally on to the 5th and final husband. The last boss, Sam Doss. Sorry.
The final boss.
I'm so. This drink was so strong, dude.
I know, but mine's been empty forever, and I'm so upset.
Yeah, well,
it's fine.
She meets her 5th and final husband, Sam Doss. Again, she meets him through the Lonely Hearts Club or whatever.
Jesus, does she have a lifetime membership?
I mean, she's their best customer, to be very clear. Sam Doss.
Oh my God.
Sam Doss joined the Sergeant Nannie's Lonely Hearts Club band, and he did not enjoy the show. I'm sorry. That's my last bad joke. I'm done.
Oh my God.
So Sam Doss lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so she moved there. She's on a Rolling Stone gal. There's no moss, you guys.
Nope. We're in Tulsa now.
Moved there. We're in Tulsa. She married him in June of 1953. Literally, like, okay, when did she married Morty? Like
52?
2 years. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. 52, she married Morty. So 53, yeah. She's right on the next one.
Like, I think probably less than a year later, she's married to her 5th husband.
Yeah.
No red flags are raised by this to anyone because it's like nobody in her life is alive anymore to even notice or care.
Yeah, that's fair.
So she moves in with him in June of 1953, and this man is neither abusive nor is he an alcoholic. But I think he was like very puritanical.
Yeah, he seemed like hardcore Christian type, like uptight. He
went to, so she's kind of hit all the bases of abuse. I mean, in the notes it says that he wasn't abusive, but like he was controlling.
Yeah. He wasn't physically abusive, and he wasn't a drunk, which all of her other husbands were.
Yeah.
But he had his own thing.
Yeah, he had his own flavor of yuck.
He's like, I'm Sam Doss, and I'm my own thing.
Yeah, he didn't want her to read magazines, watch television. He didn't want her to partake in anything that was like frivolous or silly, things that weren't educational. He was like, absolutely not. They do not belong in this house, which, God, dude.
Yeah, he sounds real fun.
He's like a fucking
wet blanket.
Yeah, completely. I was going to go the opposite direction and say like a dried piece of fruit, but I don't know.
He's like a fucking
I love dried
duct
fruit.
Duct-taped
so
IKEA leather sofa.
Oh, there we go. We're back to it. So he was no fun. And remember, she was like kind of a fun time gal.
Yeah.
So she didn't like him because of that. Like, she's like, God damn it. Like, I'm just so unlucky in love. It's like, well, ma'am, you are literally choosing the worst men available.
Worst. You're literally, no, she's not even choosing it. She's just like the first person that responds. She's like, yes, I'll marry you. It's like, no, have some discernment, have some taste, have a process where you evaluate your potential suitor. You know what I mean?
I feel like if she just would have put an ounce of the energy into murdering people as she could have put into like a grift, she could have been, great. She could have been great.
Yeah. She could have married like a Rockefeller or something. It's like, listen, you are a professional liar and a phony. Why don't you translate this, use this as a skill set, put it on your resume, become something,
Yeah. she just really went the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And I guess she was tired of this guy, but then he started to like get even more uptight because he would not put her on his bank account. Which that is a huge red flag if you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage. I mean, you can have separate bank accounts, like that's fine. But when somebody like flat out refuses and like doesn't,
he didn't want her to have her own money.
He doesn't. Yeah, he
red flag. That's Handmaid's Tale bullshit.
Yeah, we don't like that.
We do not like that.
So he's
what?
very controlling. She's like, fuck that, and she's like, oh, sir, you have tangled with the wrong one.
Yeah.
And she actually like would leave this guy. Like she'd leave for months at a time. She'd like go fuck other dudes. I think she'd go.
Good for her.
She'd go have her fun time.
Yeah.
And then she'd come back, and then he finally was like, "All right, like you can have access to the bank account."
Yeah.
Because she was like, "If you're not going to give me access to the bank account, I'm just gonna, I guess, what is this? Like, what are we doing here?" But so he finally, like, as an attempt to like keep her wrangled, allows her to have access. But in the meantime, she had already taken out 2 life insurance policies on him.
Uh-oh, red flag.
You're in danger, Sam.
You're in danger, Doss.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Doss. She tried to kill him.
Dawson's Creek, am I right?
He didn't.
I don't want to wait to
kill she this is really funny. You should read this part because you obviously made the note and it's good.
Oh, okay. Well, this is just, so clearly she's setting up to kill him. What she tries to do is kill him with a poisoned prune cake, which is so rude to me.
So I think she was like trying to like be a doting wife when she
with a prune cake.
Well, like you don't know what they were doing back in the 50s. They were doing some horrible things with food. Yeah.
Also, like a prune, as I was reminded recently, is just a dried plum, and that's how it gets about. Like, this is from Chelsea Handler's stand-up. If you call it a dried plum, people will eat it, but because prunes have connotation with shit, it's like.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Sorry, I was slurping the last.
Oh, that's okay. Drink. I know. There's like a tiny, tiny bit in there.
Well, prunes are delicious, and she made a cake out of one and tried to poison him with it, so.
But guess what? It didn't work. He just ended up in the hospital for a month, the most regular he's ever been. Because prunes make you poop.
He was like, woo, that prune cake really got me.
He's like, that was a good cake. He was like, oh my God, I feel 50 pounds lighter. I've been in the hospital for a month.
Shit like that in 50 years.
I shit out some food I ate as a teenager.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it was amazing. And he was in the hospital for a month, soup's regular. And then, of course, he was released. They returned home. And very soon after, he actually died. She killed him with her special coffee, which instead of, like, I was thinking kind of like an Irish coffee, when there's like Baileys and whiskey in it or whatever, but it's like a Russian coffee because there's poison in it. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, it's like coffee and not Baileys or not Kahlua. It's Kahlua.
Kahlua.
I don't know. Those are my bad jokes for this episode.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, he's dead. She killed him.
Yeah, he's very dead.
And finally, somebody in this fucking saga is like,
Jesus Christ.
Excuse me, ma'am. It is strange that your husband died so suddenly after being sick.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, that doesn't seem weird to me. But somebody in the medical profession was like a little wary of this situation. And they suspected foul play, and he asked Nannie if they could do an autopsy, and she was stupidly agreed to it.
Yeah. I wondered though if it was like a karmic thing, like if she was like, okay, yeah, you can do this autopsy on him, because the doctor like convinced her by being like, oh, but it might save future people who are ill, you know, like we need to know this information as doctors and science professionals.
Yeah,
and she's
like this is such a random case.
It's
I
helpful.
think, yeah. So she was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, if it's going to save lives.
Of course I'll help. And so they do the autopsy. They find his intestines riddled with arsenic. Woof. And they alert the police who arrest and charge Nannie with his murder.
Game over.
Yeah, so they arrest her and they're questioning her about the situation, and she admits to all of the murders that she's done. And they're like, oh, wait, I'm sorry. We were just talking about this one, but okay, sure.
Yikes. I'm going to need more notepads and more pencils, please.
Yeah, she's like, oh, wait, hold on. There's more. I just remembered. My mother-in-law from my fourth, third? I can't remember.
My sister.
One of those marriages.
I had 2 kids initially. Yeah,
so she just like really goes for it. She just, to these police officers. And even the prosecutors, once they like build a case against her, they didn't focus on any of the other deaths. They just went in for the death of Sam Doss, her 5th and final husband. And I think it was too much, and it was maybe like statute of limitations,
logistics. Yeah.
Also, they were in Oklahoma. All these other murders were in other states. Yeah. They were like, "Hey, do you guys want to do anything about this?" They're like, "No, it's okay. Yeah. You guys just like put her in jail or whatever." It was too much work and trouble, because that's a lot of murders to like suss out and untangle.
They were like, oh my God, we can't even like deal with this. But some of the other states where she had committed murders did pull together cases and charge her, but I don't think it ever went to trial. So like everybody was like backups, essentially. They were like, this woman is a murderous bitch. And like we all have some backup info in case this doesn't go well, but like the focus was on the Oklahoma case with Sam Doss.
Yeah, because it was like fresh. They had
they had a body.
They had like, really hard evidence against her, and they also had a confession right from the source. So they didn't need to. And I mean, in seeking justice for these people and for the victims, like what do they? I don't know, like what can be done, but I think that was like her thing, is that she was like trying to like be like, yes, I killed all these other people. And it was like already obvious at that point, I think, to anybody who is in her peripheral orbit at all, that she was just a murderer.
Yeah, I think it was like, oh, okay, everything's clicking into place. I mean, they did end up exhuming the bodies of the other people she admitted to killing, and they did autopsies after the fact, like when they had exhumed them, and they did find arsenic in a lot of the bodies that she had poisoned. So, like, it all clicked into place. I feel like they were just like, we don't need to waste our time. She's already an older woman. She's going to get potentially the death penalty if we,
pursue it. Yeah.
Pursue this in Oklahoma for just her husband that just died. So like that's good. And then all the other stuff, maybe we'll get to it, but like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And so they just they prosecuted her, and at the time they did have the death penalty on the table. Mm-hmm. In Oklahoma. Yeah, the judge had the death penalty on the table, but at some point during the 2 years of the trial, he ended up declaring her insane, like, during the trial. And so he ended up taking the death sentence off the table because he was like, this would look really bad for me if not only I killed a woman, but also she was an insane woman.
Well, and it was because during the trial, so she was nicknamed the Giggling Granny because when she would talk about the details of the deaths, she would smile and giggle. So that was really, really chilling. And I think that was like a huge factor. Yeah, it was a huge factor in why the judge was like, no, this is not right. Like, this person is not in their right mind. So, she was obviously found guilty of Doss's murder, and then she was sentenced to life in prison. She actually blamed her head injury when she was a kid and she hit her head on the metal bar on the train of all the murder. Like, that's what she was, like, blaming all of her behavior on.
Yeah, like, it must be when I bumped my head.
Yeah.
Like, what else would it be?
Like, and that, is a legitimate thing that actually does cause people's behavior to very drastically, radically, and violently change. But
fucking NFL, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard too, just like talking about, like, again, it's like, okay, if she killed her husbands, like, I don't know. A lot of them were like pretty shitty to her and not very nice, and it was like very triggering of her situation growing up, and she did not have good relationships with men, it sounds like before she even got married. So you're like, okay, maybe it was like a self-defense thing, but then on the other, it's like, well, or was it like a sport? Because
it's like
at some point
she was like the proto Eileen Wuornos or something.
Yes.
Like where she was just like,
it's a game.
It started out as one thing and then it ended up something else to her entirely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, she so we said that they took the death penalty off the table. So she didn't end up getting the death penalty, but she got life in prison. However, she died 10 years after being sentenced to life in prison in 1965 on the 10th anniversary of her incarceration. And she did not like being there. She pretty quickly was like, I wish I would have gotten the death penalty.
Yeah.
I think, it just obviously isn't a fun place to be. And you can't kill people in prison. I think they make it pretty hard. So
yeah, she was
bummed. She was like
cut off from her hobby and just
withdraw. Yeah,
she had no Lonely Hearts Club to pop into every now and then.
Yeah. Oh, what a bummer.
Her dating apps got taken away.
They did. They were all. She lost all of her passwords. She was locked out of all of her dating apps. Although, like, hello.
She was banned.
She was
from
banned.
society.
She was doxxed from the dating apps of society, a.k.a. Lonely Hearts column. So weird.
Yeah, this was a very upsetting thing to read about. And, interesting because the way she moved through life was very... Yeah. It's crazy that she got away with it for as long as she did. Mm-hmm. And it's devastating the amount of people that she murdered and the fact that a lot of them were children and people that were closest to her in her life. Like, it is, it's so stone cold evil that I just don't even know. Like, I think honestly she's like a heavy hitter in more ways like than I can even like. I don't know, like fucking. You have
It's worse that she knew all of them and they were her fucking relatives.
Yeah, like it's like she tuned that shit out real quick and murdered children and men she was married to and shared a life with. Like, BTK was out here like finding strangers to murder.
Everybody, Ted Bundy. It's like, who's a stranger?
Yeah, these were murders of opportunity, and this was like an opportunity to her, and only in the sense that it was like easy to kill these people because they were in close proximity in her life.
Maybe she was very lazy. Maybe she's like, you know what? I want to kill someone. But I don't want to, like, have to go out and act like I'm injured and try and meet a new person. So I guess my husband's fine. Like, maybe she was lazy. We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I want to murder my husband, but like, it's too much work.
It's too much work. Then, like, where do you put the body? And then,
yeah,
like how do you clean it up?
Have the like mental fortitude to like keep up a lie. Like,
yeah. It's like, oh my god.
No, I don't. I never want to murder DJ. He's the best.
He's the best.
Yeah. This woman, terrible. She's in hell. Goodbye.
Goodbye. And not like the fun hell like we're going to. Mm-mm. She's in like the bad hell.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got. Wow, Nannie, you fucking cunt. Bye. We hate you.
Your titties are stinky, not in a fun way.
No.
And we hope you're rotting in the bad hell.
Yeah.
Okay, well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Oh my God, what a gift.
Follow us on all the places. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, the Facebook. You could TikTok at DTFU podcast, all the platforms. You will find us. All the places. Yeah.
You don't need to like search anything else. Just when you're on the platform, DTFU podcast. That's
Love it. And you'll find us, and we're there.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Oh, and maybe leave us a review. That would be amazing on iTunes. It's very helpful to us. Subscribe anywhere you can. Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, wherever you listen to this, YouTube, anywhere.
Yeah. And if like one of those like isn't working one day, you can go on another one because we're on all of them.
Yeah. We're on all of them. Yeah.
We're on all of them. That's it. Go to our website, dtfupodcast.com. We got all kinds of fun stuff there. Buy some merch.
Buy some merch. Buy a bandana. You still need one. We're in the middle of a pandemic still.
We hope that the election is going to go okay.
Oh my God.
As of recording, I am very nervous and
oh my God. I will say this. Fuck Trump.
Fuck Trump.
In any way. Yeah, in any way that I need to say that. And also
fuck all these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and whoever wins, the work is not done.
Nope.
So
we got
just
lots of work to do still. We just need to dig in. All right. Well, on that note, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Be excellent to yourselves
and each other.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.